What's the backstory with Carlos Hardy? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello and welcome to What is the Backstory with yours truly, Carlos Hardy. Now before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because you ain't doing nothing else. Okay, good. So since you subscribed, that means you're ready to continue to write your book. So that's what I've been doing now for the last couple of shows that you've seen on my channel. I've been teaching you a structured way of writing your books and the fundamentals of writing, like I say, whether it's a book, a script, poetry, or magazines or articles, anything that you want to write. I'm giving you the format or the structure in which that can help you to understand the flow of writing, what it's about, and why you need to do it a certain way in order to get a result. Okay, I know I say this a lot and you're like, Carlos, what are you talking about? This is not easy. For me, it's easy now because I've been doing it for such a long time. And like anything, whether you're in sports or whether you are starting a business, whatever it is, if you do it long enough, you get pretty good at it. So I would suggest to pick up that pen every day and get to writing, okay? Get to writing. So today in our writer's room, I'm excited, okay? So I'm doing Friends. I know some of you guys know about that show, Friends. It was on in the 90s, a long time ago. As you know, I love 90s TV shows and movies and things like that because they I have this soft spot for, you know, the 90s. Times were different back then. Times were a lot more gracious. You didn't have social media and all this craziness happening now. So it was just a little more easier. It was just a lot less fluff to filter through when you were watching TV or movies or writing, whatever you were doing at that time. It was just a little less hectic. Now you have a microscope on everything, so you have to be extremely careful about what you say, what you do, and things like that. So getting back to Friends, I watched that show a little bit. I didn't watch it a lot, but I watched a little bit of it. What I did appreciate about the show was the quirky writing, and I actually worked at Warner Brothers for some years, and the writer's office was actually on my floor, and I would see some of the actual writers and people that worked on the show. I actually would see the actual cast members as well, which worked on the WB, which is Warner Brothers lot. I would see them periodically throughout the day, or throughout the years, just kind of reading scripts or just walking here and there. But I never personally met any one of them. I thought the show was great. Of course, there's been a lot of speculation, not even speculation, a lot of factual confirmation that there were not it was not a diverse show, and I get that, and I think they tried to do it, but they tried to do it at the end. It was a little bit too late. But writing is writing. I think great writers can write from lots of different perspectives, lots of different diverse backgrounds, lots of different experiences, and that's what I want for you as a writer. So to be able to write from those different vantage points, even if you haven't lived them or even if you don't know about them. So today I'm going to be tackling Friends in the writer's room. We'll get to that a little bit later, but let's focus. Okay, what's the backstory? Everything has a backstory, okay? And anytime I hear a person say this specific phrase, it sends chills down my spine because I don't understand it, but I get it, and I'll explain to you why. The phrase is, I have writer's block. What is writer's block? And what is writer's block to you? For some people, it's not being able to formulate thoughts. For others, it's not being able to sit down and piece yourself or pull yourself from distractions. For others, it's not being able to structure your story correctly to be able to write it. So yes, it is all of those things. It's all of those things, but I want you to understand that writer's block really don't exist. If you are a writer, you're a writer. There should not be any blockage there. Okay, today I'm going to give you 3 essential steps to break you away from writer's block, okay? So you'll never have to have it. It's something that, like I say, a lot of people talk about, and I get it. Don't get me wrong, I get it. Some days you can write, and other days you cannot. For me personally, what I try to do is I try not to write every single day. And what I mean by that, don't get me wrong, don't start putting down your pens, because I know some of y'all are gonna put down that pen and say, okay, I'm not gonna write. No, what that means is I may write something in my messaging or in my notes, or I may jot something down, but I may not be writing it in a cohesive chapter, or I may not be writing parts of the book. I may just be writing notes, but my brain is always gathering these thoughts that I want to place in the actual chapter when I begin to write. So writer's block. Let's get back to writer's block. Okay. So if you haven't written anything, you shouldn't have writer's block. That's being real. And that's me being generous. Writers who say they have it, I think they may be overextending their writing, meaning that they may be trying to write every single day. And for me, like I said before, I try not to write every day, because when I write every single day, it stifles the creative aspect of writing for me. And before you know, I'm just writing a mess. But so the first step for you to conquering writer's block is to write every thought. What do I mean by writing every thought? So I mean everything that comes to your mind, it needs to be written down. So let's say, for example, you're writing about cupcakes, okay? And this one particular day you're trying to write about cupcakes. It's not coming. You can't think of chocolates, you can't think of vanilla, you can't think of lemon, you can't think of anything. You're just kind of stumped. So what you need to do is just write every single thing. It doesn't matter what it pertains to. You just need to write all about cupcakes. And what I mean by that is you need to just write every thought that comes to your brain that could be a cupcake in a car, be a cupcake on the roof, be a cupcake on the sofa, whatever it is. You just need to write it all down. I find that writing everything down that comes to my mind about a subject, it opens the filter. It's like thought constipation. I know that's kind of gross, but when you have those thoughts in your mind that you want to write, but you can't particularly formulate them, then they're stuck in there. And so a lot of people equate that to writer's block. So if you would just write every thought, no matter how it makes sense in the framing of it, in the sentencing of it, just write it down. Just go at it. Just let it flow. And when you do that, what's going to happen is you're going to open up this thought bank that's always there for you. It's always there. It's never gone away. It's never anywhere. So the moment you open up that thought bank, when you begin to just write every thought possible, I guarantee you that chapter, that poem, that script, whatever it is you're trying to write, it's going to slowly begin to come out, okay? Because you've allowed the spiritual part of you to just be open. And when you're open, you're able to receive. Step 2 in conquering your writer's block, you have to have a writing trigger, okay? And you're probably asking, Carlos, what is a writing trigger? A writing trigger could be, I'm gonna tell you what a writing trigger is. A writing trigger could be the sun. A writing trigger could be coffee. A writing trigger could be music. A writing trigger could be location. It's something that puts you in the mindset of writing. So every single time you are thinking that thought, or if you're at the beach, if the beach is your writing trigger, or if music, whatever, whenever you're in that vicinity of that situation or that element, your mind is going to automatically jolt to, oh, a story I want to write. Oh, let me write this chapter. Let me write about this character. I'm telling you, that's how it works. It's called a writing trigger. For me, my writing trigger is music. Now, some days I'm driving down the street And I know people are looking at me like I'm crazy because I'll have on like the Superman theme, or I'll have on the Halloween theme, or I'll have on Cheers theme, like blaring in my car and windows down. And I'm just like, everybody knows your name. And I know for a fact people are like, this freaking guy is out of his mind. And for me, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. I'm allowing my mind to stay in that framing of allowing whatever wants to come in. I feel inspired when I listen to music. That's my thing. I feel, and it has to be composed music. It can't just be any type of music, but that's my trigger. I can sit at home and I can listen to John Williams. My mind just goes and I begin to create these things. So that's my writing trigger. Music is, for some of you, it may be coffee in the morning. It may be tea in the afternoon. It may be beach waves. It may be a intense steamy shower. It just depends. And I'm telling you, once you figure out what your writing trigger is, it will be easy for you to bypass the writer's block and be able to get to that space. Some people, it's meditation. So you have to find out what your writing trigger is and always do that writing trigger religiously. It has to become a part of your writing experience daily or weekly or monthly. You have to say, oh, okay, I need to grab my scone, and I need to grab my coffee, and then sit here, and it flows. And I got my cone and my coffee. It's like when some of you guys get up in the morning and you have to immediately have your coffee or your tea, or your day is, crap or whatever. Once you have that writing trigger, it's going to be easier. It's going to be selfless, and you're going to be selfless, and you're going to just write, and it's just going to flow. For me, writing in different locations is always a trigger for me. If I can go up the coast to Santa Barbara and sit in a hotel and write, or sit on the beach in San Francisco and just write and just beat out a story. And for me, that's what I need. A lot of people don't need that. A lot of people, it may not be their writing trigger, going to a location, but it's definitely mine. I could be in Vegas, y'all, and I'll be sitting in a beautiful, amazing hotel like Encore or the Venetian, and I'm sitting there and I'm in utter bliss. Just these characters are coming, these stories, everything is just happening around me, and it just makes me so happy. Then I add that with the music, and it's a wrap. It's a wrap. The third step in avoiding writer's block is writing consistently. If you write consistently, like I mentioned before, if you write daily, whether it's in your notes, in your phone, on your iPad, on your computer, whatever, if you write even if it's just a paragraph or a page or whatever it is, if you begin to write that daily, you're gonna begin to understand how the structure of your mind is putting your thoughts and your creativity to paper. Right now, you don't know. You have all these thoughts are just roaming and mostly probably cluttered because you have all these different things you want to do or write about. But the moment you begin to write consistently, you will begin to understand how your brain works and how it adapts to what you want to write. And when you begin to do that, it becomes clear and clear to you, and you use that trigger, and then you go to that place, or you drink that certain thing, or you eat that certain thing, and it's natural to you. It has to become natural. So you have to do it consistently. Remember, without any struggle, there's still progress. And I mean, when I say struggle, I mean you have to have a challenge. We love challenges, and I know you do at home as well. You have to have this challenge that pushes you to want to get the best idea, story, business, body out of you. And if you don't do that, there's opposition, and the opposition is you're standing in the way of that. So you have to just flow with it, be free with it. Number one, write every thought. Number two, have a writing trigger. And number three, write consistently. Okay, you got to write consistently. If you do those three things, you're not going to have writer's block. It's not going to come. Another side note, another thing you can do that I oftentimes do is if I'm writing something and the energy isn't flowing directly like I would like it to, what I would do is I'll go to something else. That doesn't mean this energy can't flow. It just means let me go to something else and it may flow a little quicker here, and then I can go back to that, and then I can write there. It hasn't escaped you. It's all there. You just have to tap into it. It's just like, and I love using examples. It's just like Bluetooth or internet. It's there. It's all around. You just have to tap into it. Those are the 3 steps to avoiding writer's block. Okay, so let's get to our writer's room. I have some good stuff for you. It's about Rachel Green from Friends. She did some crazy stuff, or she's doing some crazy stuff, and I just thought, you know what, let's give a little backstory for Rachel. Here we go. Take a look. It's the middle of the holiday season. Cheerful customers hustle from store to store seeking the perfect gift. A woman lingers in the middle of the crowded sidewalk, almost being trampled by joyous shoppers. She stares at her reflection in the large shopping center's window. She pushes her long reddish-brown locks from her face, grasping the fullness of her image. She finally backs away from the onslaught of people tearing up and down the walkway. She glances periodically at her watch, impatiently pacing a hole in the cluttered walkway. "Come on, Monica, where are you?" she says with a shaky, low-pitched mutter. A slimming woman with black puffy curls exits a car near the curb. "Sorry I'm late, Rachel," Monica says, pointing to her mangled bouffant. This perm is all wrong. Rachel squints her eyes for a better view of the matted mess sitting on top of Monica's head. "No comment, Monica." The 2 women happily embrace. The tightness of their hug indicates they've been friends a long time. Monica hooks her arm around Rachel. The 2 friends saunter up the crowded walkway. Like always, they are oblivious to the hordes of patrons surrounding them. The 2 cackling friends yell over the booming horns and boisterous atmosphere. "So, how do you feel?" Monica says, hoping to reassure her friend. "I'm nervous, Monica. She's marrying Ross, and it's just a difficult time. I understand, Rachel, but she's sweet. She'll help you get over this thing. I'm not sure I'm ready to get over anything. Maybe I'm happy the way things are." Monica holds in the center of the path, pulling Rachel closer. "You're not happy. I've seen you happy. You're different now." Rachel absorbs Monica's delicate words before chasing the tears from her cheek. "Okay, what do I have to lose? What's her name?" "It's Kelly. She's sweet. She's expecting you." "This is so awkward, Monica. She's going to think I'm a freak." "Hi, I'm Rachel, and you're marrying my ex-husband." "No, I'm not doing it." Rachel turns away and stumps up the sidewalk. Monica takes long strides in an effort to catch up with her. "Rachel, wait. Are you sure you're still not in love with Ross?" Monica looks over Rachel with an inquisitive glare. "No. We co-parent rather nicely. I need a drink." Monica grabs Rachel by both of her hands. "Look at me. It will be fine. You'll be fine." Rachel rummages through Monica's motherly demeanor in search of her tell-it-like-it-is friend, but she's nowhere to be found. Rachel gives in. Her pouting lip settles. "Okay, you're right. I'll meet her." A few moments later, Rachel paces a dimly lit hall. Her hands fall to her side in defeat, dread firmly resting on her face. She's a wreck and fails at concealing her emotions. Monica places a comforting palm on her shoulder. "It's okay. Just calm down." "Why do you keep saying that? I am calm." Monica glances down at Rachel's nervous foot, tapping on the tile. She points. "What's that?" "It's my foot." "Why are you tapping?" "You've got to get a grip. Meeting her will help you through this. My life is officially over and Ross has no idea." "Wait, you have not told Ross about why you're meeting his fiancée?" "Well, how could I? I barely knew my situation." Monica isn't buying her friend's explanation. "Rachel, we all know. Joey, Chandler." Feeling like the hall is closing in on her, Rachel takes large gulps of air. "Chandler too?" "Yes, Chandler too." Rachel's backside collides with the wall. She uses it to cease her legs from buckling. Her head tilts gradually to the ceiling. Staring into the fluorescent lights, she drifts into a soft memory. "I remember sitting there and Ross told me he was in love with Kelly. My natural instincts were to Naomi Campbell his ass." Monica brushes away the awkward comment with a bewildered look. "Naomi Campbell?" "Naomi Campbell, you know, a phone to his head." "Whatever. Anyway, then Emma saw me crying and she saw. Monica, I couldn't tell her. What kind of example would I be setting for my daughter? Rachel, if you don't walk into that room, you're going to lose Emma." You think so? Do it for your daughter. Seemingly, a weight has been lifted. Grabbing the doorknob and bursting into the next room, Rachel is flooded with an unmitigated surge of courage. She stops in the middle of the room. Several pairs of eyes land on the courageous woman. Kelly, the mentor, stands at the helm, leading the group. Rachel digs deep and summons enough bass in her voice to speak. Hello, everyone. Kelly, my name is Rachel Green, and I'm an alcoholic. What did you guys think about Rachel and her alcoholic ass? Okay, no. So that's what I wrote. To me, writing is about creating circumstances, situations, adversity for characters, and also triumphs for characters. And I wanted to give Rachel this because she seems always perfect when I watched her on Friends. She seemed always having it together, even though she was kind of quirky and weird at times. Out of all the friends, she seems the most sensible one to me, because you have to have that in that type of ensemble cast. You know, the fun one, the crazy one, the promiscuous one, the one that has it together, the one that's loose cannon. You know, just all those different types of characters which created that ensemble. But I wanted Rachel because people love Rachel, and I wanted to give her a little more depth. And I think her being this crazed alcoholic, based on her life or the adversity that has happened to her and her losing her marriage years ago, what would she be doing now? What would be her backstory now? So that's what I thought her backstory is. Tell me what you thought about that. Tell me what you thought about this lady. Some of you guys probably haven't even seen Friends, and if you have not, watch it and tell me what you thought about what I wrote there. I think it's a great thing to be able to create stuff like that, and I'm going to continue creating stuff like that from lots of different scenarios, situations, and stories, and TV shows, and movies, and just random things. Again, I want to thank you for coming to my channel and being able to share with me the joy of creating, writing. It's a really, really fun thing to do when you put your mind to it and you're able to tap into the source that is there, and it kind of relinquishes all these different flow of thoughts and synergy that's there. I appreciate you. I thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe and share or like. Do whatever you want to do, because you're going to do it anyway. You know, even if I told you, if I didn't tell you. But I do appreciate you anyway. And I thank you so much for joining me. I have more amazing tips and steps for you in your writing journey, and I'm going to help you, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your writing, whether it's in you wanting to go to school, whatever it is. These steps are going to help you. So just click on the next video, and trust me, you're going to like it. Until next time, I thank you so much for joining me and coming to share. I appreciate it. I'm Carlos Hardy. What's the backstory?
What's the backstory with Carlos Hardy? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe.